Hi, I'm Joe Gerdes, and this is Coffee in the Capitol. Today we are joined by Representative Tom Jones, representing the 89th House District, serving parts of Lancaster and Lebanon counties. He's serving on several committees, including the House Local Government Committee, and is on the subcommittee on townships. And most importantly, he served as a township supervisor in East Donegal Township, Lancaster County. Representative, thanks for taking some time to join us today.
Great to be with you.
Not only were you a township supervisor, as I mentioned, but you also served as a police commissioner for the Susquehanna Regional Police Force. You also were director of the Maytown East Donegal Fire Department. As a former township supervisor who's transitioned into a state representative, what's the biggest thing you've learned in state office that you wish you knew while you're in local office?
I think one of the things that I've learned is that in my time as supervisor, I probably could have had a lot more interaction, a lot more contact with my state legislator and other state legislators from the surrounding area. Not only like-minded state legislators, but on issues that are truly nonpartisan when it comes to providing our communities with EMS service, of course, fire and police. A lot of these things, kind of bridge that gap. They're not necessarily a partisan issue. I would encourage township supervisors to just really foster those relationships with your state rep, get to know them, make sure that they know you, because that's the connection point between that local governance, the community. You're really one of pretty much that first line of representation as a township supervisor.
How do you feel that the relationship between the state and the local governments are?
I think there's plenty of room for relationship building and collaboration and good work to get done on rolling back a lot of cumbersome laws and things. We're actually moving new legislation that helps townships streamline their operations and just do a better job for their constituents. Now, when you're talking about what some people refer to as the fourth branch of government, our regulatory system, when you're talking about MS4 regulations, DEP, the burdensome regulations that come down from unchecked bureaucracies, well, do you have all night? That's one of those things where, as a freshman state representative, I came into the House last year, my very first policy hearing. I went in there kind of sheepish, just kind of, getting my feet wet. Didn't figure I'd make any comments or step up to the microphone, but the subject of MS4 regulations came up, and I said, "Oh, here we go."
Representative, it's so important, and that's one of the things that we're working on is the governor has said that he wants to work on helping the easing of permits and whatever. We're still waiting. We're still working on that.
Right. Oh, wait. Hold on though. If you don't get your permit in time, you get your money back. That sounds great to Joe Schmo worker out there, but for anybody who's trying to build a multi-million-dollar facility, They don't want their money. They want their permit. As business owners who want to do do good work and build our businesses, and as our township supervisors who want to welcome business and grow responsibly and grow the tax base so that we don't have to increase taxes on our residents. Those are the things that are incredibly frustrating. And for me, coming from the township world now to Harrisburg, it's like out of the frying pan and into the fire. And
you mentioned there's a lot of issues, particularly a lot that are going to touch our townships. Some of the you would think would be low-hanging fruit. Looking at the right to know law. We're all for open books and what have you. We've been working for several sessions now on bills that would address both commercial requests, vexatious requests, and now you have one that's kind of coming into both camps. With AI-generated requests.
This is one of those areas where you would, I would hope, and I think you would see a nonpartisan cooperation, across the aisle when it comes to protecting our elected officials against these sort of things, whether it be the right to know requests that are generated by AI, or even we've had an instance here, we've had a couple, where one of my colleagues, Clint Allett, Representative Allett from the Northern Tier, he actually had phone calls go out with his voice, generated, by AI, things that he'd never said. So it's very concerning, and it's something that we should jump on relatively quickly because that train's coming at us, and we're standing right in the middle of the tracks.
Just some of your thoughts on the budget process as a new legislator. Once again, bringing that lens of looking at it from a former township point of view. What are your thoughts as we move into this hopefully end of the budget cycle here?
Yeah, well, I will say that the budget process is vastly different in Harrisburg than it is in your local township. The budget process in your township, generally speaking, townships that I've been familiar with, we run a tight ship. We have surpluses. We're very careful with our constituents' money. Can't say the same thing for Harrisburg. We're pretty much along for the ride. We do eventually here get to vote on the budget, on code bills where they slide more money into that, and then things like the non-preferreds, funding of just a few universities where $643 million of your taxpayer dollars, $50 for every man, woman, and child in this state. So hand over give me $50. I'm going to give it to 3 universities, right? 3 or 4 universities. Why isn't that going to all of our students, our college students in Pennsylvania? So a lot of big questions, a lot of votes coming up. So trying to hold the line on fiscal responsibility, that's what I do, and I join with like-minded colleagues.
We look forward to working with you, and thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be here, glad to be in the fight. Just a message to everybody, keep holding the line in your township. Do the best for your residents, for your friends, your neighbors, your families. Keep holding the line, and we'll keep fighting up here in Harrisburg. Thanks.
Thank you for joining us on Coffee in the Capitol this month. Remember, if you like what you're seeing, email tvn@psats.org. Also, be sure to subscribe to PSATS YouTube channel. Hit the bell button for notifications, follow our social media pages, and head over to the TVN page at psats.org for more township video news content. As always, thanks for watching.